Welcome to Nature Boy Gary Gold's Corner. I'm Gary Gold, along with my partner Chris Blackhart. Don Vega is on assignment, but he will be on our next show. And this is our second round. And we're back on the air again.
This is the COVID edition, round two?
Second one, round two.
This is the second shot.
The second shot, right. Now, I know that we'd be here for hours to talk about everything, but let's get with you first. I was going to ask, I know it's frustrating right now for you.
Well,
He's a promoter.
It's the longest vacation I've had since I entered the wrestling business in 1997.
Right, and it's like you still have your school and everything.
Yeah, we made it through the 1 year. We actually, ironically, when everything started, basically we were good enough to get March anniversary off last year in Taunton, and obviously that was literally, I think, the week before the state shut down everything down. So everybody was worried about COVID because it was new, and the show went off great, but you could tell it was down from previous years because normally it would sell a crowd.
Right.
But you could tell, but with the health concerns, people not knowing. But the good part, we got it off, and then the complete shutdown.
Right.
So show-wise, the good part about it, we stepped to the production. So SPW TV on YouTube, just bring up Showcase Pro Wrestling comes up. That's the good part. We launched that, I think, in June. Was our first episode. Production-wise, great. On the school side, we actually switched to virtual, kind of like everyone's been doing anyway, Zoom.
Right.
So the good part about that, we were able to do with our students some of the stuff that you don't always emphasize, or you do, and some of these students aren't studious.
Right.
So we watch footage, we went over psychology, stuff like that, and we had guest trainers too. So we didn't slow down, just because we weren't in the public eye, we didn't stop.
Right.
So it's we're getting ramped up. We'll make an announcement whenever Gary wants to about the first show coming out of COVID with live fans. Now
first, hopefully down the road we'll be in the Moose, but we'll be in Taunton.
Yes, we're returning to Taunton on Saturday night, May 8th.
May 8th, remember that, May 8th, Taunton.
That is going to be a limited ticketed event. You can only get it online at showcasewrestling.com. Tickets you can buy in 2-packs or 4-packs.
Okay. All right.
So it is limited. It's not going to be a packed house. Obviously, everything's going to be under state guidelines,
right.
Masks, temperature checks,
yep.
Sanitation out there, but it is limited. So when you buy a ticket, so let's say if you had a friend, hypothetically, Gary, and you bought a 2-pack, you and your friend would have to come together, and you have to sit together. So those seats will already be there.
Okay.
So that's why we did 2-packs and 4-packs.
All right. Now, another thing is, since the shows haven't been going on, you still have your champions, you have your tag team champions.
Well, remember, we switched over to SPW TV.
Okay,
so what those were during the COVID era is same thing. We did temperature checks. Guys had COVID tests. We had a limited talent roster for when we did the tapings. They were a closed setting, in one socket.
Right.
So, and that's how we kept everything alive.
Right.
The viewership, ironically, we look at the statistics and, we're getting views internationally, from different parts of the world that you would never think of.
Right.
But, so the champion is still Vega, a good friend of yours, which will be next time.
Our other co-host.
On our last show, we had new tag team champions, the Pyramids of Power.
Yeah.
We have new Sons of Liberty champion, Big Matt Thompson.
Yeah.
We still have the whiny Carlos Slavin complaining about Don Vega. It's been a year, kid. It's been a year, and you're still blaming me that you came in second. And he came in second too in the Sons of Liberty tournament. You should watch the tournament.
Right.
Who would have championship opportunity against Mr. Pickles?
Well, you should tell Wishville, the only people who win come in first. That's it.
I know.
That's it. Random subject, never mind for a year. What about my buddy?
You have buddies?
Yeah, well, technically not really, but we use that first.
Oh, speaking of buddy, you got to talk to your buddy, Mr. Cena, man. He has not been doing me any favors.
Oh, well, I may talk to him last week.
You didn't hear what he tried to do during December?
No, I didn't.
He tried to put me in a tag match.
Yeah.
Me?
Why not? You can still wrestle.
It's the point. When are you
going to wrestle?
Well, when I'm running I'm running everything,
That's why somebody could take over, like a couple matches while you go in the ring.
Well, unfortunately, Vega got COVID.
Oh,
so we had to propose the match, and it just hasn't been the right time to do that match. And I'm hoping, Carlos doesn't really need to get in the ring,
right.
Against us. Hopefully he learns from,
I'll talk to him.
Yeah, not really helpful.
No,
You know?
helpful.
But unfortunately, he is a commissioner,
Yes.
and he did pull a fast one. I give him credit. He was slick. He did it.
He didn't tell you the other thing idea he had?
What?
Oops. Never mind. Maybe this is not the show. This might be not the show to talk about it.
What?
He told me not to. We'll
No,
discuss my show.
I don't know. If I have to make the drive up to Newbury again,
no,
I will.
You'll get lost, trust me.
No. Me and Johnny, we used to be on the right side, right? We were right here, right? You know?
Well, I don't know. Like
But
I
now
said,
he
our next
flipped it
show.
off, man. I'm not sure why.
And well, when he came up with this idea, you will have to get in the ring again. But that's and you won't tell me who the opponent is. I got a good idea who it
Yeah,
is.
but remember, some days when you get what you asked for, Gary, it's not what you wanted.
Well, hopefully you don't have to get in the ring. So never.
All right, Gary.
All right.
See the difference. See, you actually retired, Gary. I remember that night at the Moose Lodge, you retired, Gary.
Sometimes there's a contract. You didn't read the whole contract, did you?
I never retired.
Yeah, but
Never
did you
retired.
read my contract? It's in the bottom.
Focus the shift to
Small
the
print.
company.
Small print.
Not-
Can't go back in the ring if I have
Gary,
to.
just because you can't read it because your eyes are bad, does not make it small print. You know?
Oh, I think Mr. Vega could probably explain better. I got a question for you. And I bet you, and then Mr. Vega will have to explain you because he'll have to.
Is it sports related?
Yes, we have to do that.
That's
Now,
the only good part about. I mean, I was hoping professional sports on the other side, like that baseball, basketball.
I'm sure Don will be able to help you on this one. Okay, he'll train you.
all right, let me look
A
at the
mock
clock.
draft. The mock draft's coming out with Mel Kiper Jr.
Who?
Mel Kiper Jr. It's a
I'm
mock
not-
draft.
What do you mean a mock draft? Is it make believe draft?
No. Okay. Well, when he's on the next show, he'll explain you what the mock draft is.
Okay.
And football. Okay.
What sport?
Football draft.
Well, no, I mean I know when they have the drafts.
Yeah, but he'll.
I don't want to. What do you? Are they practicing drafting people?
Yeah, well, he'll explain to you. You should watch it. You
right.
know watch Mel Kiper Jr.? He does the mock draft. Mr. Vega
We're like
explained
fantasy
it.
drafting.
Oh,
Is that what it is?
oh, somebody Thomas help me sometimes, but no, he'll explain
right.
how it goes.
I guarantee I'm
He's-
not
he's
going
more
to
smart-
ask.
He's very smart minded like
I'm not
I
going to
am.
ask. But you can put a big,
Yeah, you are.
big sticky note there, and
He'll know.
no,
I already texted him.
I've
He's
known him
gonna-
over 20 years. There's a couple things
Oh,
we
I've
don't
known
talk
him about-
about.
I've known him about 19
couple
years.
things see, that's the
So,
problem. That
I
one
already
year,
texted him already. So
you just don't talk about. We don't talk about
we allow
those kind of sports.
Yeah,
He
we
can
do
talk
allow
to you.
1 minute in the show to talk about
Yeah,
sports.
we do. Gary,
Doesn't make a difference.
we're over a minute for your sports.
Okay, well, sometimes he might spend the whole show talking about
no,
sports.
no, he wouldn't do that to me.
Yeah? Yeah, well, you never know.
No, because I told him on
all
our
the kind of
segment-
mood he's in.
No, I told him I was saying we're going to talk all about him.
Okay, yeah.
It's his first favorite subject.
Right. All right. So, like I said, hopefully, with the frustrations going on now, as far as it's going to be nice someday when we can go outside or indoors and have a full packed crowd and a nice.
Well, you can go to
building.
Florida now if you want, Gary. But
Well, yeah, and once in Texas, you don't have to wear a mask. I don't know about. Yeah, you don't have to wear one.
yeah, I got a feeling we're going down political lines, Gary. And
Yeah, there we go.
I think the last time we did this, Mr. Badante was on it, and I'm
Oh,
not sure
my.
if that episode ever aired.
No, if we ever find out, we have to show that again.
Oh, that was good. That was.
You and I got lost on that one. We're just sitting
No,
here
that was
like,
good.
Well, yeah, it was
no,
good.
Dan's
but
a great guest. We should have him back.
we were just sitting there like we kind of lost control of the show. So maybe this tape I gave has some of those old things. We definitely would have to watch that one because that was totally. That was wrestling, more wrestling. A lot of people, I don't know, trying to weigh on the. On like WWE, how it's slowly, some people are not really interested no more, and people are watching Cody Rhodes and Jericho. Everything's like they get better ratings, and
Well,
I don't know.
Mr. Meltzer, what have you been reading?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, they haven't been. They're going down the ratings.
I would say one of the big. Well, when you look at ratings, especially with wrestling, how they watching it. If you
Right.
just go by TV ratings.
Yeah.
Like with WWE switching over to Peacock for like the WWE app, I don't know how they view that.
Yeah.
And I was surprised. Did you watch WrestleMania?
I part of it. Not,
All right, but I watch it on my app on my phone. I watch a Hall of Fame. On my tablet.
Yeah.
So if I'm watching it on my phone or my tablet, how does that tally in TV ratings?
Yeah.
I think that, and so that's a wholly different question. I still think the biggest problem with wrestling on TV is it's not an off season.
Right. I think generally that most people like that I talk to that that are diehard fans, they're like they keep I don't follow all the shows, but they say they rather watch that than WE. They're just into it more. They're more talented, more better matches.
With everything else, some days is different, and I think with WWE, they're the NFL. Going back to your little sports, they're the NFL, they're the MLB. They are the number one organization.
Right.
But even with that, like we were talking a while ago, is what happened if they did. It was, I don't know, let's say it's from like SummerSlam, which is really August, to WrestleMania, which is like, late March, early April. That is when the guys wrestle.
Right.
And then maybe the women wrestle from, April to August. Just so it's different.
Right.
It's different and it's fresh, because why do people like football?
Enjoy the sport.
But it's because it's gone for 5 months?
Yeah, then they get right.
And I think that's what it is. And I think the problem, yes, wrestling is a TV product, but the problem is if it's always on.
It's on all year round.
Then you also take it for granted.
Right.
So it's tough.
It's like hockey, baseball, same thing. They go for their.
Yeah, but they take the season off,
So,
and that's why you like it. I mean, yes, some people that die hard sports, especially like they watch NFL, they watch college football. I mean, they watch Pee Wee football. It doesn't matter.
Right,
if it's football, they watch it. They
college,
love it.
Everything.
You have fanatics in every sport, but I think that's the problem with the national product. And on the plus side, you look at independence, and you look at what we've been doing now. One day we are going to sit down. I know a good friend of mine, a good friend of yours, has a tech guy. Jim Cornette has one, and I think is what's his name, Mr. Featherbottom. I'm gonna give him your number so he can set you up so you can actually watch it on your phone, Gary. SPW TV. Okay. You can go to YouTube without all the restrictions. I'm going to take the parents' guidance off your app,
okay,
so you can actually watch, wrestling.
Yep. That's good. Appreciate that.
But you should go through it, Gary. All the season. We're going up. The next season's coming up soon.
I will be. Now. Well, being now all these 3 jobs I got now.
Yeah, 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, this is news right up here.
Too
Everyone's complaining about unemployment and job loss. Why don't you tell about your new jobs, Gary?
No, it's still back on the Moose Lodge.
I'll be happy to make up the stuff for you, Gary.
Well, so yeah.
All right. So is it true you're the new chairman for the Democrat National Convention?
Oh no,
of the Adderall edition?
No,
is that true?
No, that's Rehoboth. That's commander.
Oh, for the Democrats, right?
No, not Democrats.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm
That's what
independent.
I thought it was.
I'm an independent.
Okay.
Wait till Dan gets back on here. We'll straighten that out. But so what else news about your schools? You got any more new employees, new kids?
Employees, yeah. We don't do. We believe in independent contractors.
Well, you never
we
know.
can hire them and fire them upon will. Or guess what? There's 2 doors. There's a come in door and there's a goodbye door.
We always know that one for you. That's your.
Well, no, I mean, especially like this time of the season, WrestleMania season, you get a lot of inquiries.
Right.
And I always tell you the hardest thing, as I said numerous times on the show, is getting through your own door.
Right.
And then the next hard door is getting through our door. You got to come in. Life gets in the way. Everybody wants to do the dream, but now you have the opportunity to do it.
Right.
So we've got a couple of new recruits in the last couple of months. We're still limited class size, and we're still doing temperature checks and everything like that. So we're still under state guidance.
Right.
When it comes down to the restrictions, but the people who are coming, they're getting over their hurdle. And some days it's just up here,
Right.
And guess what? You're going to love it. And I always tell people, if you never thought of quitting, you're not doing it right. Because your first couple of weeks, yes, is enjoyable. Yes, you're doing your dream. But you remember your first couple of weeks of wrestling school. It kind of sucks.
It did.
It's physical. Yeah. It's physical and mental, and it's just for you breaking through sometimes your own restrictions of what you're trying to do and learn.
Salem, Mass. Down in Salem with.
That's when you guys were just on mats. Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, no, we had a ring. It was upstairs in YMCA.
Yeah.
And Jeff Coster was there with me.
Yeah.
And a couple other people, and of course Sergeant Muldoon.
Yeah.
He was there. This is when we were a lot younger those days, and most of those.
I hope so. Well, I'm glad it wasn't last week. So.
No, I can't remember, but. Those were Salem, Mass. It was Killer Kowalski.
Well, let me ask you, right? So did you have, like we always have, guys filtering in. There's no, in theory, set time when, a new class starts. But did you have it like guys would come in, and then did you see them kind of get weeded out, and then
they had?
I mean, it was different back then than now.
Right.
But still,
Yeah, our classes were Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, like 4 to whatever. And that's when I first met. And Robbie Ellis was there a couple times. But they had a lot of guys come in. We tried out. And, the first month, was there was a lot of new kids. And then Walter was the type that if you would try it, and then after about 2 weeks later, he'd always, say, "We'll come back." And then 2 days later, you don't see them anymore.
Yeah.
They didn't. They tried it for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And most of them, besides myself, hung in there without, Jeff Cost and a couple other people. But we had like about 20 or 30, and I think it dwindled down to less than 10 within 3 months.
Yeah.
They did. There was some that tried to stuck it out, but most of them.
Yeah, unfortunately, when they leave, you can't have that exit. Like, hey, why are you, quitting? Why are you not coming anymore?
They didn't. Yeah.
And some days, ironically, I do. Like when, a lot of times I'm getting the inquiries anyway by messenger or email. So if some reason they're lapsed, some of them they tell me. It's a lot. First thing is usually is harder than what they thought it was.
Well, in my time was they paid the money up front. That was it.
Yeah.
You didn't pay how different group paid the whole full amount.
Yeah.
And then a month later, you can't get your money back.
Yeah.
You lost. And so that's what Walter was that type that, we're not going to, you can't give me 100 here. Give me the full amount, the training.
Well, no, because the drop rate, I know when we started years ago training, because we've been doing the training school since, I think, 2008. We're at our current location now for 10 years. That, something just getting funds out of people to start is a problem. Now, if you ask them all up front, we did that, at the beginning. People didn't have any funds. I send guys jobs. People are like, oh, I can't, I don't have a job. Great. What do you want to do? And I legitimately send them jobs of what they want to do and where they want to go. I try to set them up with rides. Like I'm doing everything but giving them my money to sign up for classes at the training center.
Right.
But there's a will, there's a way. You just got to do it. If you want to do it, you got to do it.
Right.
In our case, you can go to showcasewrestling.com or SP Wrestling on any of the other platforms. Just send me an email too, promoter@showcasewrestling.com. Say, hey, I want to join. Boom. Show up Monday, Wednesday night, 6:30.
Well, that's like I said, when Walter, we all had jobs, full-time jobs.
Yeah, no, you made a way. I remember when I started, I was working at a car dealership, and I was lucky enough to get, I think I had a half day. I got off at 5, so I went there. I think it was, I don't know, it could have been, I want to say Wednesdays, and then I think I had Thursdays off, and then I went on, we had Sundays. I forget what we had during the week. I know we had 4 days. It was Saturday, Sunday, and then it could have been Tuesday and Thursday, I can't remember.
Right.
But I remember I was going 3-4 days a week.
Yeah.
And guess what? Some days it was terrible, man. I don't know about you, but with the traffic, like when every time well, you went to Salem.
Yeah, I lived there.
I went to Malden, and when you got through Boston, if you didn't make it past, was it IHOP?
Yeah.
On the left-hand side, if you got up there before 3:30, you were fine.
Right.
You got there like at 3:31, forget it. You were there for an hour.
Yeah. So I remember it was easier because Walter said, well, instead of driving back and forth, where I live in Taunton, which Salem's a ride, so they had like a little hotel for some of the wrestlers. And it was, they lived there that way, and plus you can work there. And I came home on the weekends or something if I didn't have to, do shows. But I remember he was strict on the shows and I don't know, his training. He just basically, weeded people out.
Yeah.
And then he'd been one that did all the talking. You don't talk when he's talking.
Yeah.
So that's when I found out one time. Got smacked in the head.
Yeah, well, no, you got to show up. I think some of the worst thing is people like, hey, I've been training for 4 months.
Right.
And then you find out, you signed up 4 months, but you've been, you look at the attendance and you've been here like 6 times in 4 months,
Well, that was one of the problems that I can remember back there is that we had a full group of wrestlers, and then it started slowly, but they weren't coming every 3. I went 3 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Some would just come once a week, and then Walter would say, "Why are you here? Where were you Monday and Wednesday? You just come for a couple hours on a Friday. Then you want to come next Friday." So he said, either you come every day or don't come, and then that's when they didn't show up. No more.
Well, and some days guys position themselves, and I always tell people, if you can only come that 1 day a week, you got to maximize it.
Right.
You have to focus on it. If you're there, you got to work at it.
Yeah.
And then when you're not there, you're getting outside work. Like we give people homework, that they have to send over.
Right.
You have to do the outside work. You have to, you have to go to the gym.
Right.
In between dieting too, it's accommodation.
They had
For some reason, I don't know why these young kids, they think they go to wrestling school that we are going to create a wrestler for them. We can help give you a platform.
Yeah.
But you got to do the work yourself too.
Yeah.
But they think we do everything for them.
Right. They had a gym there too that we can often use. Do you remember Bastion Booger? Bastion Booger. Yeah. He was from Canada first. That's where he lived, and he did a lot of shows with Jeff Cost in Canada, and he was one of the original Walters guys. I know he passed away years ago, but they had a free gym for us, and basically Walter was just totally. Our old friend, the female manager, what was her name? Sandy
Starr?
I can't remember. Can't remember. I think she was there.
I don't know.
I can't remember.
That's way before my time up there.
Yeah, you weren't even around. You were a kid. But I think she was, but I can't remember.
I don't know, Gary.
Can't remember, but
Gary, you got to remember who you're dating. Didn't you have a book or something?
Yeah, a book.
Yeah,
It'd be full.
Didn't you? I dated Sandy Starr in 1981.
No. Don't spread that rumor.
1991.
No.
Briefly in 2001.
No, I'll be buying her a drink to get over me. Believe me, that's about it.
Don't worry, I'll figure it out. I'll fill it in for
Yeah,
you.
you don't have to fill in nothing. You do enough damage. You don't have to do any more.
I will try, Gary.
Yeah, that's the problem. Like I said, a lot of the other guy I work with. This guy knows more. I call him Johnny B. Bad. He works in the meat room. He knows wrestling more than I do. He knows every referees. He knows. He watches every show, and he's rambling off all these guys. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And he does not miss. He lives on wrestling. He's got a knowledge of. When he goes back from, you watch me in NWA way back in those years. I'm like, would you follow that far back?
He watched you back in the NWA?
Yeah, in Florida.
Can you get the footage? Did you get any? Didn't you get some footage from Florida?
Yeah, we have it on the tape.
Why don't you bring it?
We've already shown it a couple times already here.
No, that was like one match. Why don't you get the rest of it?
We have it here. Yeah, we had a bunch of matches on before.
What about you and the Mulkeys versus the Road Warriors?
No, I don't have that one. Unless I'd have to. They had a thing on that. Remember on the? I forget one of the areas you had to go on. They had Gary Fitzpatrick versus the Black Demon or something, and so I tried to order. Remember, but we had to buy. Only it was on 2 matches. Yeah. It was like 25 matches on there, for $21.99. I'm like, geez. And I tried to clean, and then it sold out.
They tell me you weren't worth $21.99.
Oh no, it was me. It was other. It was not. It was just NWA wrestlers. Yeah. But that match was on there. I don't know why it was on there. It was on there. I have no idea why.
Even the video guy makes a mistake, Gary.
Yeah. Good thing.
It could have been TBA versus the Black Demon.
Yeah, I know. It was like he was. So I can always go look back on those things. Jerry Gray was good. I guess he's got cancer and everything now. And
all right, so why don't we put it out there for
Jerry. I tried to call
people who watch Sugar. Why don't they try to go to YouTube now? What are the various names that you went by from your younger years?
I used Gary Fitzpatrick.
Gary Fitzpatrick.
That was mostly.
What else did you go by?
Oh God, no! Gary Casey didn't last.
Gary Casey.
They didn't last. They lasted about 3 months.
Gary Mulkey.
No Mulkey. No Mulkey brothers. No, I was with them, but
Oh, they didn't give you a name.
I was using Gary Fitzpatrick.
They just said it's the third brother.
That was Gary Fitzpatrick.
Gary Fitzpatrick. Okay, so Gary Fitzpatrick.
You're kidding
Gary
me, right?
Fitzpatrick Mulkey. Was it hyphenated or?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'd have to ask Jerry Gray. I wish he never lost. He had a lot of tapes from
but that was more in the Florida region, right?
Yeah,
what was it, Florida Championship Wrestling?
Yeah.
All right.
It was
and up here,
SWF was the Florida.
And up here, you wrestled more as Gary Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
And then you switched it over.
So Nature Boy Gary Gold.
Yeah. How'd that happen? I don't think we ever had that story.
John, I wasn't down working for Coster.
Yeah.
He got upset. He said Fitzpatrick was too long of a name to put on the poster. I'm like,
it was funny. I was thinking that.
I said, what? Maybe too long of a name. He goes, so he says, we're going to put you, Gary Gold. But I already had the Nature Boy down in Florida. Down when I was Florida wrestling. It was already there. With Nature Boy.
Did you pay the seminar to get the name, or?
What's that?
Did you go to the seminar to get the name?
Ask permission. Could ask permission.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, a lot of people misunderstand. It's like the bruiser. There's a bunch of bruisers out there.
Yeah.
It's different if I use Nature Boy Gary Flair. He gets sued.
Yeah.
But somebody who knows Travis Funk can get in trouble because
I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, can't use that. He's on a funk brother. Not a
What?
real. He's on a funk. You know.
Shocking news.
Yeah.
on the Gary
I think
Gold
everybody knows
front.
that.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
But no,
Facebook
that
doesn't lie to me.
was more of just like people. It's just a nickname. It's just like they had so many people had different kind of nicknames for the Fabulous One and everything. All but as long as you don't use their last name.
Yeah.
But it is, and I think there was one. I saw one guy in I forget Arizona. He used Nature Boy something, but he had the bleach blonde hair. He had the same robes.
There's a
And
guy in
he-
Georgia. There's a
was
guy
it
in Georgia who does that. Yeah.
that's too. That's
can't-
too. It's too.
Yeah. No. It's this.
No, that's not. No, you don't do it that way. But what do you do? You always use Chris Blackheart. You ever changed? You ever had any different names? No.
Well, I'm sure I've been called a lot of different
Oh,
things.
I could sit here for like a couple hours with Mr.
Yeah,
Vega and
yeah.
talk about that. With a bunch of
That's probably just
a lot of names.
That's probably just what my wife called me. Never mind.
I don't know about
never
that,
mind
yeah.
the fans, but
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you should have been Gary.
Here we
we
go.
should find the footage, and because I know we have it. When Don Vega, the last time in the Showcase Pro Wrestling ring, and how the fans were crying and they were so upset that Don Vega was going to be leaving that ring. We're going to show that footage, Gary.
I thought you were leaving, they'd be
no,
crying.
No. The emotion, and how they loved him.
So you did that.
And
They
then-
wouldn't be allowed. They'd be allowed.
And then afterwards, when something slightly changed, the bad language, that they said about him, and
Nah.
very, 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 very bad. I don't understand it. I mean,
Well, if you were leaving, they'd be standing up cheering probably that you were
no,
leaving.
we'll show it, Gary. It was an emotional night, Gary.
Okay, I'm not. I'm
But
saying
you
that
talk
you were
about
leaving.
people saying bad stuff, and then you watch this, Gary. It reminded me of like the '90s and the early maybe 2000s.
Right.
It had that good feeling,
Really?
as the true heel in me.
Yeah.
It was awesome, Gary. You would appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sure. Well,
A lot of fans didn't. I haven't got pelted with purses in ages, probably like 2 decades. But that happened, Gary. Got hit in the head with purses, and people were throwing cups and water. And I hope it was beer.
Hope it was water. Yeah, I'll be here.
I hope- no.
All right.
Yeah,
well, definitely we'll get that. We'll get that footage up because that's interesting to watch.
We'll show it, Gary. It was
right.
really emotional.
All righty. Well, thank you, and for.
All right, Gary, for a
hopefully
COVID
back.
edition of Gary Gold
Yeah.
TV.
All right. Thank you for watching Nature Boy Gary Goes Corner. Mr. Vega will be on next with Mr. Blackheart. Have a good week. Thank you.